Hi guys! Thank you so much for visiting my channel where all things are done for the glory of Jehovah God. Alright, so as I promised in my last video that I would be posting this video helping you by providing some tips about how to identify your Boaz. Now, as I was reading through the book of Ruth, the Holy Spirit led me to ponder on some things, and that is how I created this list. And I really hope and pray that it will be a blessing to you. So, the first thing is that Boaz was established in his own field. And so will be the case with your Boaz, right? He will also be established in his field. Now, this doesn't mean that he must have a successful business or he's in a top job or he has a great ministry, but it means that he's in tune with God enough to know where God is leading him, what God is telling him, and he's taking active steps to achieving those things, as well as he's actively pursuing his goals and personal development. Alrighty, so psychologist James Marshall, he developed the identity status theory. Now, what this theory says is that each individual goes through 5 stages in their lives before achieving the ultimate of the stages, identity achievement. Now, to get to identity achievement, you would have successfully gone through a series of challenges, right? Worked your way through them, overcome them to really know who it is that you are, what it is that you want to accomplish out of your life, and you have actively pursued these things, right? Now, there's another stage, identity diffusion. During this stage, you're not doing anything. You're not going through any crises. You're not pursuing any goals, just nada. Now, if you meet this young man and this is where he's at, I am not saying that he could not be a potential Boaz. It's just that he's not ready, right? Because God is preparing you and he's revealing things to you that he needs you to do. So it is also important for this person to know where they stand, what it is that they want, what it is that they're working towards. If this person is just going with the flow and wherever the wind takes him, that wind can take him anywhere. Are you sure you're up for that journey? So that is something that is really important for you to think about. Second point, Boaz pursues you, right? Just as in the book of Ruth, when Boaz came on the field, he saw Ruth, he did his background check. He liked what he was hearing. So he went over to Ruth, introduced himself, and he made it clear that he wanted her to stay on his field. He didn't want her to go anywhere else gleaning. He wanted her to stay there. And so will be the case with your Boaz. There will be no if, buts, maybes. There will be no guesses and misses. He will be very intentional about what it is that he wants. He will make that known to you in his words and his actions. You don't have to be guessing or wondering what is. It will be stated. You will know. He will make sure of that. Okay, ladies? Next, third point is that Boaz respects you and he respects all of you, including your body. Now, when Ruth was at the threshing floor, she was a vulnerable woman in a vulnerable place. Boaz could have easily taken advantage of her right there, right? But he did not. And even more, when Ruth was leaving in the morning, he cautioned her not to let anyone know that she had come there because Boaz had lived in Bethlehem, Judah long enough and he knew what the citizens were like. He knew the damage this could have done to Ruth's reputation if anyone knew that she was at the threshing floor. And Boaz just did not want that to happen. So he charged her not to say anything. And it's the same thing with your Boaz. He will also value the things that you value and he will respect your values and your boundaries, right? So if your value and your boundary is to keep your body pure, he will respect that and he will appreciate the fact that you want someone who will pursue your mind and want to get to know more about you and value and honor your belief, to not want to be shacking up or just be giving your body to anyone without a clear sign of commitment and a marriage, right? Your Boaz will also honor and value these things. right? And so he's not going to want to put you in a compromising position. He's not going to want to pull you to do anything that he knows will compromise those values. Number four, Boaz is a provider. As we see in the book of Ruth, Boaz was always providing for Ruth's needs. He wanted to ensure that she was okay. So when he met her on the field, he told the reapers to drop extras by the way so that Ruth could glean the extras. When Ruth was leaving the threshing floor, he gave her more wheat because he wanted to know that her needs were met. And so it will be with your Boaz, whether it is a material need or an emotional need. So, questions to ask: is this someone who is always willing and open to listen to you? Right? Is it someone that you can always run to and talk to whenever you have a problem, whenever you need someone to be there? Is he present and willing to listen? Mark you, some of the times these may not be the most comfortable topics for him, but is he willing to accommodate you anyway? These are important things for you to pay attention to. Also, to show how kind he is to his family members, it is important to evaluate how giving he is to his mom, his dad, his brothers, his sisters, even his grandparents, his friends, other persons who are in need. What is he like? It's important for you to pay attention to these things. What are his views on tithing? What are your views on tithing? This is important because these are patterns that will tell you a lot about this person and the things that this person values. Boaz is a man of his word. Okay? So, in the book of Ruth, when Ruth was leaving the threshing floor, Boaz promised her that he would go and handle the matter at a specific time and date. And the only persons who knew that Ruth was at the threshing floor was Boaz, Naomi, and Ruth. No one else. Now, Naomi and Ruth had no way of keeping tabs on Boaz to ensure that he followed through. But guess what? Boaz still went ahead and did exactly what he said he would do when he said he would do it, even though there was no way of really ensuring that he really did go through and follow through with it. So it will be with your Boaz. He will not be someone who just talks up a good talk and doesn't follow through, but he will talk, make promises, and fulfill his promises. He will be a man who honors his word. Now, if you're with someone who is struggling to do this, it could be because of one of two reasons. It could be one, he's really not that into you. So he knows the right words to say to you to really get you to stick around for whatever purpose he wants you to be there. But when it comes to honoring what he has said and to make you happy, he doesn't really care that much for you. So he will find it very easy to let you down. And he will do this over and over as many times as you allow him to do it. Or it can be two. That's just his nature. He's just this person who will talk a good talk but really doesn't follow through. And soon enough, you'll be able to identify if this is the case because you will see it showing up in other areas in his life. And it is up to you to make this decision because if you settle for that, then guess what? You're going to marry promises and it's going to be an issue in your union. So it is important for you guys to be open and communicate openly with each other and see how best you can work at a consensus to work over this challenge, work over this obstacle in your relationship before getting to I do. A man who wants to keep you in his life, if he sees that there's an area that he's falling and he's making you unhappy, he is going to put in the work and the effort that is needed to make that change. It's not going to be something that you have to beg him to make or something that you have to convince him to make, but he will identify based on what is happening because he's in tune with your relationship and he is going to take the necessary steps to effect this change to bring about a better relationship for both of you, right? Boaz is kind to all, right? Not just you, not just his family, not just his friends, but other persons who are of no benefit to him, other persons who are not even connected to him. So it is important for you to pay attention to how he treats persons who cannot do anything for him, persons that he might deem in a lower position than he is. How does he treat them? Does he have a heart of compassion towards them, Or does he treat them with disdain? It is important for you to pay attention to these things. How does he treat the person who serves at the counter of a fast food restaurant or in the drive through window? How does he treat your server when you guys go out to eat? How does he treat someone on the road who is begging? You're watching a video together about someone who is in a very poor situation. What are his sentiments towards that person? Because these are all telltale signs about who this person is, what they value, and soon enough you will see them. When you get married, they are going to come up and show themselves in your union. So it is super important for you to pay attention to these things. All right, so thank you so much for listening. And this is not an exhaustive list, okay, ladies, but it is just a mere pointer and some guidelines that you can use. Another thing for you to also bear in mind is that just as you're a God-fearing woman believing God for Boaz and you desire to see certain things in your Boaz is also a God-fearing man who is believing God for his Ruth, and there are certain things that he desires to see in Ruth, right? So I do encourage you to even check yourself along with this list and see where you fall. What are the areas that you are exhibiting, and what are the areas that you need to work on and do the work that is necessary. Pray and ask God to also reveal to you other areas in your life that you need to work on to be the woman that this man is praying for, right? A lot of times, one of the mistakes that people make is going into relationships expecting their partner to complete them. In reality, you go into relationships to complement each other, right? So even with Adam, when God gave Adam Eve, he didn't give Adam Eve because Adam was lacking something that Eve would have to fill, right? He saw that Adam was stewarding over that which he had given Adam to steward. Adam was doing such a good job that God looked at him and said, "Hey, Adam, you're doing so good. It's not good for you to be alone. I think you need a friend. I think you need some company. So I'm going to make you a suitable helpmate," right? So that is what you will be to your Boaz. You will be his helpmate. You will help him in his ministry, help him in fulfilling his goals, help him in life. You guys are life partners and you are both partnering with each other, complementing each other to work towards the things that God has laid on your heart to accomplish together, right? That is what you will do. He will not complete you, right? He's not gonna make every pain in your life go away, but he will complement you and help you to steward that which God has given you, and you will also do the very same for him. Okay, ladies, so thank you so much for watching this video. All right, and I do encourage that if you want to get notifications whenever I post videos in the future, to subscribe down below. Alrighty, so please like, share, and comment because I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about my pointers? Or if there's something else that you would like me to share a video about, I would really love to hear what you have to say. What are some of the things that you want to hear about? Okay, ladies, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next week. Bye. Have a great day.